Welcome back to Mitford Pottery. More hand building, well, more assembly, more than hand building today. So, down here is what we're going to be doing. So I'll focus in on this one. It's hanging plant or wall planters. I'll get one as a. We've done them before, but we're going to try a bit of new decoration on them. So we're sort of similar to that, sort of like half. So you get two, if you throw a vase and a slab, you get two hanging pots. So that's what we're aiming for today. So I've done the slabs, I've divided them up. They're each on their own little board to make it easier to move about. So I'm going to put one over there for now. And see, we'll focus in on this fella here. So first things first, we've got to get our outline there. And to do that, we've got to match it up with a pot. Now, as you can see, we've got to cut it in half. So that's, I'll move that one side a minute. I need another little wooden board because I'm soon going to have two halves. Right. Thought I was all prepared. There we are. So, going to have half on each. And to cut it, I found the best way is a harp. So I do have a smaller harp for the smaller vases, but that wouldn't fit over there, just wouldn't fit. So I've got to use the big harp here. So what we do is, I'm going to put my glasses down so I can see what I'm doing. So I just eyeball it halfway, and then we're going to press that through clear straight down as we can get it, and all the way through the bottom. Now it won't cut right through, so what I've got to do is I'm just going to lift that up just so I can push the harp blade further down, get that right through. Bit side to side, saw that wire through like that. And that should open up into two halves. Get that wire through there. It's a little bit faffy, that last bit. So I'm just pushing the wire through just to finish that cut. Boing, like so. So then we have, not a bad throw as well. It's not often I get to see the inside of my pots. Nice and consistent, that. Well pleased with that. So we'll balance them there. Get that out of the way. That's job's done. For these fellas, I'm going to put one on there and one on there. He can go for the next one. He can go for this one. Right, so now shape. I did a few different top shapes. As you can see, that one's got the point on it. I did a curved one. I preferred the curved shape. And to get the circle, got a big yogurt pot. So if I hold that up to there, it's just a bit bigger than the pot. And that'll give us our little side walls down there. So what I've got to do is, I'm going to position that on the bottom edge, roughly in the middle of there. And I'm going to think, right, where's the top of that going to go? And I need my little marking tool. So I reckon about that high should be fine. So I'll put him back over there. And I'm going to put our pot on there. Hold it down and we'll go straight to the cut. So I'm going to cut a semicircle. Round there. So that will give us the circular top of that. Now I want the bottom to be the same as the top. So we're going to measure the widest point. So So that's 11.5 centimetres at that point there. So if I put a little mark there and there on the outside, I have to take that down to 11.5. Now, got to get it square. Square, square, square. Need a square edge. We will use a piece of paper. So I've got to get that square corner there. So if I do that to there, so that's running along there, that goes up to our mark. So then if I put that there, and then if I continue to cut down there, like so, that gives us our curve and then into our straight edge. And then I need to measure that to 11.5. And then from there to there should be straight. He says, full of confidence, like so. Well, it looks okay anyway, if the visuals are anything to go by. So now I can take that out of the way, put that over there. We'll think of something to do with that in a bit. So just as a rough guide, we'll put our pot back in there. So that's going to get attached like that. Right. Now, because this is the second time I've made these, some of the things I need to do is do the hole in the top first before you've got your pot on it. So as we know, that's 11.5 that way. So if I put, what's that? What's half of 11.5? That is 5.5, 575. So if we go 575, if we keep that square there, that should give us a point here, and I'm just going to eyeball it. I'm going to go about there. So that should give us a mark to put a hole in there. When it's dried out a bit, because it's a bit too soft at the minute to do the full hole. And you keep getting dry bits to clear on everything. Like so. Right, so we've got that bit. And what I do need to do is just run the point around there. Just so that edge that we've cut out doesn't stick to the board. Right, that's that done. We've now got to score and slip our pot in the way. Right, oh yes, other things to do. Drainage holes. Drainage holes in the pot. So I've got so you can use hole cutters, whatever you like. I use just a cheap new drill bit, because they're nice and sharp. So I'm just going to support that like that. Glasses on, and I'm going to put a hole there. And a hole opposite on the other side, about there. That'll give us some drain holes in there. And while I've got it where I can handle it easier, get rid of them bits of clay off there. I'm going to put my little stamp on the bottom. So these ones are getting me little cat stamp. Which way around we're going to go? We're going to go that way. So I'm just going to just a little imprint in there. That one little cat stamp. Right, next we've got to attach this. Now, actually, I want to say, make sure it hasn't stuck to the board. Because they do stick when you press them out. Oh no, that's it, we're all right. So I'm going to put on a dry bit in the middle, like so. Actually, while I've got this opportunity, I'm going to drill the hole in the top. So I use a bigger drill bit for this. I'm just going to widen that out. So while it's just off the edge of there, just so it's got a bit of support. Gently press the drill bit through. That's it, we are through. Smooth that off like that. Where's my sponge? I need a sponge already. That's it like that. Got to do the other side now. So I'm going to try and not flex this at all. So if I hold it like that, turn that board round to the other side. As you can see, when the drill pops through, you get lots of rubbish off that edge. So we're just going to gently get that out the way with a knife, fingertip, just to blend that clear out. While I've got it upside down, I'm going to smooth our edges off. Like so. Lovely. So that's our back, so a smooth edge. Got to turn that over again now. So without flexing it. So the more you flex the slab, the more of a curve it will get when it goes in the kiln. Right, scoring and slipping time. So now we have to position that, and I normally just eyeball them, just so I'm happy with them. So what we're going to do, we're just going to trace the profile down like so. Move that out of the way. And we're going to score on that edge where everything meets. Just a little bit, just to roughen it up. Like that. Now we've got to do the edge. I think what I'll do, to save a little bit of time, use the hacksaw blade. So that. Just use the teeth of an old hacksaw blade. Does quite a good job. of score on the surface, like that. Right, that's ready to attach, so we need our slip. That done, that's been nice and shook up. Got our brush. Push that back down into the pot. Now, we'll get some on this edge. Right, and then we want a bit on there as well. Should be enough on that, on this edge to do the job, but sometimes you can put too much slip on, but usually it's if you're not sure, put extra on. Dum, 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 dum. Right. And then we've got to position that back on to our pot, get it in position. So we're roughly there. Now, as we press down gently, we just slide it a little bit, and that sliding effect will start to grip and push the slip out, and the pot will start to grip. And what we have to do is get it where, of course, our downward cut, when we cut it in half, it's not perfectly flat. So you get high points and low points. So you've got to make sure that that edge is touching all the way around, which I think we're good to go. Now, normally I would take it all off and blend it in, but if you get enough slip on like that, I'll hold it up to the camera. So if you get a lot of slip coming out of there, or left to right and right to left, like that. Don't take it all off, blend it in to the joint. So you'll lose a bit of it, but use it like cement. So get that blended in to that joint. And same on the other side. So then, because the slip is the glue, really, and then you shouldn't have to blend it in much, to tell you the truth. If you get your clear consistency right, you should be good to go. Like that. So it's all nice and shiny. We'll keep an eye on it as we go. The awkward bit is the inside bit. So what I tend to do is, my slip brush, just take the excess off. Dip it quickly into the water so it's really wet. Tilt that up so it doesn't slide off, and then just use that instead of your fingertip on the inside. So we're not removing the slip, we're just smoothing it in to the joint. And that top edge and across the bottom. Like that. Give the outside another paste, that's it. Like so. So the last thing to finish on the outside of this is our sharp edge. So a damp sponge running round like so. Tidy the top edges out. It's nice. And there we have it. There's our first wall planter. And what I tend to do is just keep an eye on that inside edge, because you see something different every time you move it. Just make sure that you can't see any gaps. And the slip should do its job and seal everything up together, as long as it doesn't dry too quick. So lovely. There's one done. How long have we been on? 20 minutes. There you are. Not too bad. And this bottom edge is my only concern here. So if I move that to the edge of the board so you can see if it'll move. That's it. If I move that just off the edge. So that joint there, as you can see, it's a little bit uneven. So if I put it on there just to give it a bit of height, what I am going to do is I'm going to run across that edge, hold it in place, just go across with the teeth from the hacksaw blade, then go back the other way. That will join up our two edges, smooth it off, and then with the smooth edge of your hacksaw blade, it's a dual purpose tool, you can run that across that joint and it'll seal it all up nice and flat for you, like so. A little bit at that end, fingertip, run it across. Wet my fingertip, gently smooth that off. Now I'm happy with it. There. Now we're good to go. Push that back on the board a bit. There we are. So there's our first wall planter. Now, decoration. I'm going to pause I'll stop the video and a magic of editing. I'm going to finish the other one and then we're going to come back to this to do our decoration. And I've never decorated anything like that before. And we're going to use, is it on go? Basically coloured slip. And I'm going to put a texture on this. Just slopping the slip on. But I've got to make another one of these first. So I'll be back in a minute. Don't go anywhere.
Later.
We're done. We have now 2 little hanging vases. So I'm just going to move them off there. Right, so this is the venturing into the unknown here. So I've got some black slip in that pot. And I've got golden sand in that pot. And I've got 2 sticks. Give them a mix up and get rid of the water off the top. So it's quite thick slip, so it should go on quite well. It shouldn't run about too much. Consistency is just about there. I have heard of and seen this done very, very briefly on YouTube. So it is a proper venture into the unknown for me. So, glasses on. I've got a bucket of water to clean my hands. I got a cloth. We got our pots. And we're ready to get creative. I was going to do a colour each. But I might go a bit crazy and put a bit of colour on both. So I'm thinking this one's going to be golden sand. It's going to go around the edge and across that bit there. So it's not going to be on that edge. This one's the same. It's going to go around, across there, nothing on the edge. But it's going to be like texture, like what the old-fashioned art texture used to be like. So I assume we will do the lighter of the colours first. So last final mix. Right, here we go then. So I'm thinking I'll go on that bit there to get a sort of feel for it. And literally you're going to scoop it on. And we're going to smear it on. Quite thick. I'm going to go down here. Into that gap there. Stop at that edge. Go along the top there. Down that bit there. Let's see, stop at that sort of edge there. And then we're going to continue up this bit here. Across there like that. I want to move this fella out the way. Turn that round. So, got that on there. And this is the bit, I assume, you can go pretty crazy with a pattern. Just get the thick off finger. And I reckon I'm going to go a bit swirly. Not too much down that side, just a little roughen it up a bit. And I'm just going to dabble my fingers across the top, just to make it uneven really, so you can't see, or it doesn't look like someone's just splodged their fingers on it. I'm thinking I'm going to do that bit as well. In for a penny, in for a pound, so we're going to there you go. Well, look at that. How crazy is that? So I'll wash my hand, get that off there. And I think all I need to do, give this sticker rinse. So just the bit that fastens the pot on to the wall, the hole there's got a bit of slip in it, so I'm just going to smooth that bit off. And that's it. I've got it all on my face and everything. So there's one. I don't know what you think of that. It looks pretty groovy, that does. Put them all one side. Don't put them on top of the pot. We're going to go similar. What's the black? Well, what videos did I see? They had a rib, didn't they, to make a wavy effect. A rib. That's a good profile. Soft rib. Get a soft rubber kidney. Rubber rib, whatever. So I think it is, put it on and then sort of go like wavy. Just we'll see. We shall see. So now that I'm sort of confident in applying it, and this is wetter, so there. Down that edge there. Across there. Turn it on so you can see what I'm doing. Let's see, thinking as we go, so as long as you don't let it dry, I'll be able to put a texture in if I hurry up. Missed any bits. And then around this top bit. Just a bit there. Across there. Right, scrape this off. Hands are rinse. Just a bit there. No, I'm not going to do anything with that. I'm not confident with it. I don't think I have any other texturing type tools which I can attack it with. Not on the spur anymore. Oh, I don't know, like. Do I try that? It's got teeth in it. No, we'll go back to the rim. We'll not smooth it out if it doesn't work. So I'm gonna go like that, just to just break through. That's it. I'm not going to go too crazy. There you go. We'll get them in place, and then I'll have a tidy up when I finish showing you these. So there you go. Now can I lift them up without them falling over? There we are, 2 hanging vases with a coloured slip textured decoration. Thanks for watching. Clears the way. See you in another video very soon. Bye for now.